Good afternoon, everyone. Snow in Hawaii, record snow in Barrow, Alaska. Still a lot of sea ice out there. New record cold for the day in Vostok, Antarctica, 80 below zero. Snows in Mexico. Snow in Washington State. Snow in New Hampshire. Frost conditions across upstate New York. Snow in Russia in several locations. Ukraine snow. Global temperatures decreasing. La Nina increasing. Cold blob in the Atlantic definitely taking hold. And now a cold blob in the Pacific. Look at the solar activity compared to last solar cycle. Stranger than fiction. Hawaii receiving snow a week before summer. Conditions over Mauna Kea. Wet weather moving over the islands. Record snowfall in Barrow, Alaska. The old record of half an inch shattered 1.7 inches over 3 times for the new record. A look at the sea ice and coastal ice from the cams. I thought it was supposed to be melting up there. And the warmest Arctic ever with no sea ice. I guess, my eyes are proving the news wrong. Conditions on the ground. Antarctica, Vostok, coldest ever recorded temperature for this day, minus 80 Celsius. The temperature anomalies in Antarctica all month long. Look at the temperature gradient over the last 2 weeks. Snow in Mexico. This is the location. Glimpse into the city during that event on the day. Jumping into the climate data, if you'll notice on the very bottom row, May. Absolutely no snow ever recorded in May, and especially not June. This is so far outside the parameters of what's normal for the climate down there. Mount Washington up in New Hampshire. Weather Channel would have you believe that this is all normal. It snows every June like this. Not at all. This brings us into the 5th snowiest June ever. A couple snow creatures looking back at you here. Conditions on the mountain, that's why they were asking hikers to take extra care due to the cold and the changing conditions. This follows right on the heels in May of the 7.5-inch snowfall that shattered the 1941 record up in Maine, which I reported on. Frost conditions across upstate New York, what they woke up to, what your grass and vegetables would look like. Northern California receiving snows from 2 to 5 inches. This is the Weather Bureau advisory for the area. Jumping up around Mount Rainier, Washington. Last 7 days have been snowing up there. National Weather Service and NOAA putting out advisories to backpackers and hikers for unseasonably cold temperatures to get ready with your gear if you're going up into the mountains, because this is what you're going to experience. Crystal Mountain cams show exactly what is falling on the mountains right now. We should be in shorts hiking, not in parkas. Tiksi, red area on the map in northern Russia. Snow. This time of the year, completely unusual. Novodinsk, also snows, very unusual, rare even, claimed in the media. Ukraine, which is really far south in the grain growing region, receives snow. Global temperatures for you here in all hemispheres, and the smooth average decreasing, but you can see the global temps just dropping off on the black line there. As La Nina intensifies, temperatures globally will cool, and I will predict that these yellow bars are going to extend out to -3°C as we continue into 2017. Cold blob in the Atlantic Ocean, easily visible with the intensification on the map. The global warming crowd would have you believe it's because of the melting Greenland ice cap. But how convenient they forget there's actually a 60-year cycle in the cooling and the warming of the Atlantic Ocean. Natural cycles, not CO2. and suddenly out of nowhere, a cold blob appears in the North Pacific Ocean. Now it's cold blob in Atlantic, cold blob in Pacific. What do you think are going to happen to our northern hemisphere temperatures? Direct correlation of sea surface temperatures following sunspot number count. So the drop-off in activity over the spotless days in the beginning of our month would explain some of these cool weather events. Now looking back in time, we can see the activity of the previous solar cycle compared to where we are today. Definitely a decrease in activity, very visible on these charts. And going forward into the next solar cycle 25, those are going to decrease even further. Thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of the video. Global temperatures decreasing, global grain production affected. End result, your food price is rising indefinitely.